Fire investigators have linked two weekend fires to issues with appliances within the home. One due to an arc in a power cord to a dryer, the other to a failure in an air conditioner. But what exactly does that mean? We called on an expert to explain. Electrician Marvin Wu of Wu's Electrical Appliances joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here and explaining these things to us, because I think a lot of people have these problems, but they don't even realize. So the issues that we talked about, those two causes of those fires, do you see those often? Are they common hazards and people just don't know about them?
Yeah, actually, we come across a lot of outlets that show signs of burning. It's probably more common than you think, given the number of fires that you hear about on the news and the amount of things that we personally come across.
Right. And one of the causes was the arc in a power cord. What exactly is that? Or an arc in a power cord to the dryer? Okay,
yeah, so based on that, an arc is when you have, your wire or your conductor, if there's a connection that's not solid, say there's a little gap of air in there, the wire has broken a little bit, electricity jumps across from one side to the other. Essentially, it's a spark, and that's your arc. The arc, repeatedly will, generate heat, which in turn over, a period of time will kind of heat up and have a potential for fire.
Okay, interesting. That was totally not what I was expecting when it was the arc in the power cord. Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. That makes sense, though, because then it would have to jump, and I could see how that could lead to a problem. The other one was the air conditioner. Is that something that you see common? Why is it that we're told to plug the AC directly into the wall versus into a power strip?
Having a power strip adds one more potential point of failure. So, ideally you have your cord as quickly and as simply going from your AC right to the source of electricity. If the power strip is undersized or it's older, those could be also potentials for, fire.
Right. Okay, and then another thing that they said was they recommended that the outlet should be on its own designated circuit. What exactly does that mean, its own circuit?
A designated circuit or a dedicated line is when you have one appliance on a circuit breaker. It helps to distribute the amount of power available. A lot of times if you have, say, a couple of rooms, maybe 3 rooms on one circuit breaker, and you put ACs in each of those rooms, when all of them are running, it may trip the breaker. So adding a dedicated line helps to distribute the electricity better. But I think probably the greater cause of fire potential is when you have loose connections or loose wiring. That can cause arcing, and that'll happen in outlets. So designated lines don't necessarily eliminate the possibility for fire. They probably help it, but I think checking on loose connections is probably more important, in my opinion, just from what I've seen going to people's homes.
Okay, and then the designated line, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking it's just plugging one thing into one outlet. That's not the case. A dedicated line is different than just where you plug it in, right?
Yeah, it's kind of more how the home's electrical is set up.
Okay.
Some examples of appliances that are on designated circuits would be your electric range, the electric dryer, and your electric water heater. But one of those fires was on a dryer, right? And that's on a dedicated line.
Interesting.
So I'm kind of thinking that maybe there's a failure at the outlet.
Yeah, so it just goes to show, even if it is on a dedicated line, that's not, you're in the clear, right?
Yeah.
You have to make sure that all of these steps are taken into account when it comes to, I guess, the safety of your circuits. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I don't know if that was the right terminology. Okay, so, I mean, when you're looking for, I guess, going through your home, trying to think of things to be safe, like what are warning signs that people should keep an eye out for? What can we look for?
There's a couple things you could do. One very simple thing is just to unplug your appliance and kind of take a look at the outlet to see if there's any signs of light burning, discoloration, where the plug goes into the outlet. You could also, when you plug in something into an outlet, you can also see how well the outlet grabs the plug. You know, if it's loose and the plug wants to fall out, you probably want to get that taken, have it looked at.
Yeah, and if yours looks like the one on your screen right now, then you really have a problem,
Yeah,
right?
this is the kind of stuff we come across fairly often.
Really?
Let's see. You can also listen for like crackling sounds and obviously smells.
Okay. And then if you do see something like this, or you hear the crackling sounds coming, I guess, from the outlet area, what should you do?
First of all, you want to try and turn off power to that area. Hopefully, you can figure out which circuit breaker it is and turn it off. I mean, worst case scenario, you can always just flip off all your circuit breakers. If there's no power going to that circuit, then that stops the potential for fire. You know, call a technician to come take a look at it. And in the meantime, you can always run extension cords if, you know, your internet's on there or your refrigerator's on there.
Right, from maybe a different room.
Yeah, from a place that is that's still sound.
Okay, perfect. And then give Marvin Wu a call.
And give me a ring.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for breaking that down. And it is something, you know, especially when we're seeing so many of these incidents happen, it is something that can be common and can happen to really anyone.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of just common sense and kind of paying attention to your outlets can go a long way.
Definitely. All right, well, thank you so much, Marvin,
Thanks so much for
joining
having
us
me.
this morning. Of course.